Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with, believe it or not, another Bruno Walter Mahler's Second Symphony, this time from 1948 live with the Vienna Philharmonic. That will always be interesting, won't it? Well, not necessarily. Let's be honest, shall we? The Vienna Philharmonic was never a great Mahler orchestra. Never has been. Maybe never will be. Despite the fact that people have tried to grind in Mahler's music. And the Philharmonic has given some excellent performances. Mahler performances. It has the fourth with Mazel, some of the Bernstein things, Mahler 5 and stuff like that, but they have to be pushed to do it. They've discovered they could make a living playing Mahler, that it's profitable. So they picked it up with a certain level of enthusiasm, and now they claim to be one of the, icons of the Mahler style. But no, they never were, and I doubt they ever are going to be the ultimate in Mahler stuff, because the actual sound that the Vienna Philharmonic cultivates, which is very, very beautiful for the first Viennese school, and Strauss and stuff has blended luscious strings sonority. It's totally the antithesis of what Mahler wants. The great Mahler orchestras are the New York Philharmonic, the Concertgebouw, the Czech Philharmonic, people like that. People who have an unblended sonority and greater equality of tonal individuality between each orchestral section. That's just the way it is. Sorry, folks. I hate to be dogmatic about it. So I don't have any sentimental feeling about the Vienna Philharmonic, as did, Mahler himself or Bruno Walter, or these people, George Sell, the ones who, basically regarded the Vienna sound as the acme of orchestral sonority because they played Beethoven and Brahms. That was their thing. But Mahler, I really believe, is something other, and it needs a different set of qualities. So I just want to get that out there right away, because the blurb here, this is on, claims to be a limited edition, single CD, on FB Records, Phlebotomy Records. No, actually, that stands for Fra Bernardo. And where Fra Bernardo actually got this tape from, it's obviously a broadcast recording, which we'll talk about in a minute. I have no idea. Anyway, they write, the live recording from Vienna in 1948 captures not only a superlative performance, but also a moment of historical and emotional significance. The city, scarred by war and political upheaval, became the stage for a profound artistic statement of hope and renewal. Walter's leadership, combined with the artistry of the Vienna Philharmonic, the Konzertvereinigung Wiener Staatsopernchor, and the distinguished soloists, their Maria Cebotari and Rosette Anday, by the way, makes this performance a definitive interpretation of Mahler's vision. Well, talk about puffing. First of all, there's no such thing as a definitive anything in the world of classical music, number one. Number two, notice how they say a definitive vision. Well, it's either definitive or it isn't. It can't be like one of several, can it? But be that as it may, it's a very good performance. Walter's best Mahler 2 remains his New York Philharmonic recording in stereo on Sony, which sounds absolutely glorious, and that's really all that we need for Walter Mahler 2s, and he did it quite often. But this is a very, very fine performance. It is live. It's a little bit grander, a little bit more expansive than the New York Phil version. The playing is, well, the post-war Vienna Phil in the 40s was nothing special. They were rebuilding, and even if they were at the absolute tip-top of their form, like I said, they were never really a Mahler orchestra, and here they were hardly at the tippity-toppity of their form. Walter conducts with great authority. I have to give him credit, and he makes them play. And they do play, but the sound of the orchestra is so peculiar. It's closer to Scherchen's sound. You have these odd balances, these woody-sounding timpani, tam-tams like pie plates, brass with trumpets that kind of, screech out, strings that have their sloppy moments. It's a decent live performance. Don't get me wrong. And you can tell that the conception is a big and very, very noble one. So, if you're collecting Bruno Walter or Bruno Walter Mahler or whatever it is, I mean, yeah, what the hell? Go get it and listen to it. But sonically, there are some really big issues as well, because it's a radio broadcast, and it sounds remarkable when you put it on initially, the lower strings and all that. It sounds really good, but as soon as the volume starts to increase and you hit the ceiling of the incredibly compressed dynamic range, which takes very little time. The bigger the orchestration gets, the tinnier and smaller and more compressed the sound becomes, which is just unspeakably disappointing in the big moments. It really, really is. I mean, you want the thing to open up, and you can sense that the performance is, arriving at its majestic climaxes, and especially at the very end when the chorus is there, which is just an ill-focused blob of screaming in the back. You just, and it doesn't. It just gets smaller and smaller and smaller and more compressed and tinnier, and it's so frustrating. It's frustrating because you know what should be, and what could be, and it's not there. And I mean, you might want to imaginatively recreate what you think ought to be there, but I mean, what the hell's the point? I mean, you can listen to lots of great Mahler twos. So this is an historical curiosity and a collector's item for a certain brand of listener, and nothing more than that. Because what else could it be? Really, seriously, folks. Keep on listening. Take care.